Let's talk about another failure. Actually, I wouldn't even necessarily call it a complete failure, but the Sega Master System was one that just couldn't quite do it.
Nintendo made some of the best first-party games of all time, like Mario and Zelda, but beyond that, they had some of the best third-party support from companies like Capcom and Konami. They were just giving them gifts in the form of games like Castlevania, Metal Gear, Bionic Commando, the list just goes on and on.
Nintendo had pretty much made exclusive deals with its third-party companies like a Konami, like Capcom, basically saying to them, if you make games for us, we don't really want you making games for other companies. And basically, I mean, they effectively blackballed Sega from being able to work with some of the best gaming companies that were out there.
It was up to Sega to make their own games, and they were okay at it, but they were no Nintendo. It would have been impossible for them to match the creative force of Nintendo, Capcom, Konami, just all the companies combined.
There was one flaming car wreck on the side of the video game highway that some people remember kind of fondly, and that is the Vectrex.
It was a home-based system that played 3D vector graphics. Didn't actually plug in your TV. It came with its own little 9-inch monitor. Now, vector graphics were interesting because they were actually being used back in the day as a way to create 3D graphics in games. And like one of the best examples is probably one of my favorite games too of all time is the Star Wars arcade game. So Vectrex tried to bring that excitement home.
Oh, it failed because you couldn't hook it up to your TV. There were only so many games you could make out of just white lines coming at you. And today it's kind of it's a curio. It's an oddity, but it still has its fans.
Let's add another log to the fire and talk about the Atari 7800. If the Atari 7800 had come out any earlier, it would have been a nice system. Problem was, this was about 2 years too late.
Their big titles are Pole Position 2 and Miss Pac-Man, neither of which are big improvements over the originals, which are great games, but they're ancient. They're literally ancient. I mean, you have things like Zelda going on, like really revolutionary stuff, and they're still making maze games. And Pac-Man's a classic, but there's new classics being made, like Mario and Zelda.
Launching with Ms. Pac-Man in 1986, man, is like coming out with a DVD player and packing in like Birth of a Nation.
Every successful console has one game that sells the system. A Mario, a Sonic, just something that moves it, that makes people say, that's the one I need to play this.